Hey everyone, I hope you are doing well. Palantir is the best performing stock in my portfolio right now, hands down, easy. But could this continue into next year? Could Palantir stock reach all-time highs in 2024? Now, of course, there are many things that you need to consider when trying to make a price target for any stock. But let's just think about a few things that have been happening and are about to happen that could cause Palantir stock to go between $25 a share and $30 a share in 2024. Now, this is just my opinion, not financial advice. All-time highs for Palantir are $39 a share, which were reached in January 2021. So I'm not too sure that Palantir goes from its current price of around $18 a share all the way up to $40 a share to beat that all-time high in 2024 without actually being able to see the ability to justify that growth. Now, of course, there's no saying that this couldn't happen. If everything aligned perfectly, absolutely. Why not? However, I just think it's a little bit more unlikely. So what's just happened plays into this. The Fed have paused interest rate hikes, and they've said to expect cuts in 2024. This means it gets cheaper to borrow money. This then leads to increased spending and more money actually for people to invest. Where do they invest that money? Well, quite a lot of them will invest that into the stock market. There's also crypto, which of course is expecting another bull run soon, so people could turn and actually put money over there as well. But still, when rates come down, more people put more money into the stock market. Businesses also spend more. What will they spend that money on? Maybe some data analytic and AI abilities. Maybe Palantir. So more spending by businesses, more spending by retail investors into stocks, and more spending on stocks by funds. Now, retail investors will be investing in a multitude of things. Of course, they're not all just going to put their money into Palantir. However, a lot of them will look to put their money into stocks that have done particularly well in 2023. They will want to see some of those gains. They will have FOMO. One of the stocks that has performed particularly well is, of course, Palantir. They will also look to put money into those stocks that they are constantly hearing about. Those ones getting a lot of attention and making headlines. Those again, like Palantir and Tesla and maybe Apple and some other big names too. And remember as well, AI is still a buzzword. AI has caused many stocks to have a massive run up in 2023, and this is not over yet. I actually cover 3 AI-based stocks that you may want to look into on my second channel. That video is coming out Sunday, and you will find the link to the channel in the description below, and you'll see it on the screen now. If you want to, please go and subscribe. All of this ties into the stock price being based on supply versus demand. If the supply of Palantir stock is going down and the demand for it is going up, that of course shoots the stock price upwards. Okay, so macro is clearly important, and if the macro is favorable, this will be good for Palantir. But of course, we cannot rely on just the macro situation to cause an upwards trend in Palantir stock. So aside from macro, what has been going on? Well, actually a great deal. We are ending 2023 as a Palantir community incredibly strong. We have built a lot of momentum to take us into 2024. Not that long ago, we of course heard that massive long-awaited NHS contract was being awarded to Palantir. That was a massive catalyst and we achieved it. We had the eligibility criteria met for S&P 500 inclusion. We'll come back to that one in just a minute. And just in the past 10 days or so, we have had 4 contracts or renewals on the commercial side. We have had the Fujitsu contract. That was a renewal. We have had the Horse Integrity Safety Authority contract, Plascred, and the UniCredit contract as well. And those are all across different sectors. We've got the animal safety sector or the sporting sector, I guess. I don't know which one. The banking sector, so UniCredit is a big European bank. We've got the Plascred credit contract, which is the environmental sector. So this just goes to show you the total addressable market. Again, we keep saying it's so big for Palantir. And I expect this to continue into 2024. I think we are going to hear about many more commercial contracts that Palantir get awarded or get renewals for in many different sectors. And if the last 10 or so days are anything to go by, these are going to come in thick and fast. And then turning our heads to the government side of Palantir. Of course, we want growth on both the commercial side and the government side. So yesterday, massive day. Palantir got awarded a $115 million 12-month contract extension to the Army Vantage contract. So just to roll the tapes back on this one a little bit, just to give you some context. In 2019, the US Army selected Palantir for a $458 million production agreement to power Army Vantage, which is a comprehensive analytics data platform to facilitate data-driven decision making. This contract was for a base year, and then 3 optional years that the Army could either use or not use on top of that. After that base year, the US Army came back. They decided that they did want to use those extra additional optional years with Palantir. And this happened multiple times with amounts of $110 million, $113.8 million, and $116 million all going into Palantir. Something tells me that Palantir are pretty useful. And then look into 2024. Remember, we have that massive Titan contract that we are expecting to hear anytime between January and March. And that is big in both meaning and money. They are also expanding outside of the US government and working with government agencies around the world, including those in the UK. And now apparently also UK Bedfordshire Police Force. I saw this over on X, and by the way, there is a great Palantir community over there. Bedfordshire Police Force are using AI to redact personal data from case files before they go to the Crown Prosecution Service. Detectives have been finding that it's taking minutes, whereas traditional methods took days. And then just staying in the UK even with Palantir, the NHS contract. That was a massive, massive win. But thinking about what this is going to mean moving forward, I've made videos on this, and I think that what we are going to see is that Palantir starts working with other European healthcare services, because these have a lot in common with the NHS. I do really think 2024 will be the year that Palantir starts leaking themselves, integrating themselves into the European market in particular. We of course have the S&P 500 inclusion coming up. We should expect them to join the index early next year. When the announcement comes that Palantir is definitely getting into the S&P 500 index, that could alone cause a momentary stock price boost. But thinking long term, it brings in more money and more investors. Institutions like pension funds will be increasing their ownership of Palantir because they have to if it's getting included in the S&P 500. But also, retail investors that buy index funds and ETFs like an S&P 500 ETF, for example, VUSA, here in the UK, will indirectly be putting their money into Palantir. Again, supply, demand, stock goes up. So what else? Well, AIP growth in particular. We have heard already how in demand AIP is. We have seen companies want AIP and then being upsold Foundry as a result of that. We have seen companies renew their contract with Foundry with the addition of AIP. We have heard about the AIP bootcamp success. So if this continues to manifest itself into 2024, that could be very, very good for Palantir as a company. And then, of course, we should be able to get good earnings. If we get good earnings, again, that's another trigger for a stock price increase. There are many things I haven't spoken about in this video, but with all this momentum building towards the end of 2023, and with all the aligned catalysts ready and set for 2024, and with the macro being favorable, all that could, in my opinion, take Palantir stock to $30 a share. But remember, no one knows. We don't know. It could be that next year tech stocks have a disgusting year. They really don't do well at all. We don't know. Maybe Palantir have something that comes out that really, really hits their stock price. Maybe some negative news. Again, we don't know. We are not fortune tellers. We do not know the future. That is why it's so important to concentrate on what the company is doing and just let the stock price do its own thing and have a plan and a time horizon that allows you patience, that allows you not to care so much if the stock price next year takes a hit, as long as the company is doing well and you still have conviction in the company. Let me know what you think Palantir stock will do in 2024, but more importantly than that, let me know which catalysts are you most excited about moving into next year. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe to my second channel. New videos coming out on there all the time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another one very soon.